Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to New Monday. So I've had quite the eventful week. Sunday was my last day at work, the 14th of July, which was yesterday as I'm recording this. And yeah, it was sad to let go after 4 years, but they're shutting down the whole branch, so it is what it is. But I found a new job, and I start a new job very soon next week. This week, though, before I leave my job, they're giving me a company-funded training course for a week. So I'm doing like a training course that starts at 8 a.m. in the morning for 5 days. So I've just come back from the first day of that training on Monday, and I thought to myself, yeah, I got time to watch a movie. So here we are, Movie Monday, Star Trek, The First Contact. Oh, it's just First Contact, not the. There's no the in the title. But I enjoyed the last one last week, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm quite annoyed by England losing the Euros final yesterday, so this will cheer me up a little bit. The Borg travel back in time, intent on preventing Earth's first contact with an alien species. That explains the title. Captain Picard and his crew pursue them to ensure that Zephram Cochrane, that's Cochrane, makes his maiden flight reaching warp speed. Very interesting. I think the line is also quite interested. I really love how Picard decides to go against orders. That's very Captain Kirk-like. I like that. It's like it rubbed off on him. But yeah, it's pronounced Cochrane, but like I know a guy, I used to know a guy who has the exact same surname, and I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Cochrane in the UK. So technically I was right, but it's pronounced Cochrane in America, at least in Star Trek anyway. But yeah, oh, so that cube, that what's the name of it? I've forgotten the name of this tribe. Borg, yeah, the Borg cube. That cube reminded me of Transformers. I'm just like, is that the Allspark from 2007? That's what it reminded me of. But obviously this movie came out first. Maybe the Allspark was inspired by this. I don't know. But it's interesting. So the Borg seem to have changed the timeline. So they've gone back in time, but because they were in like they were kind of immune from the timeline change, so that's why they're all still alive. So they're trying to fix the timeline, and somehow it's not Barry Allen's fault. Crazy. Data is so funny, man, with his emotion chip. Like, Captain, I feel anxiety. That's not exactly what he said, but like the way he delivered that line, this guy's acting is on point. He's acting like a robot who's learning emotions. Exactly what his role is. I love the scenes of Picard trying to explain to this human about what's actually going on, and she's just like, she's so baffled. Seeing Picard absolutely lose it was pretty crazy. Reminded me of a time, obviously, in the previous films where Captain Kirk lost it in his bloodlust and desire for revenge. Picard really lost it with certain members of his crew, but yeah, thankfully the woman from Earth gave him a talking to, because it was getting to the point where he was like not letting anyone listen to him. It's quite a scary moment. But yeah, this, I don't know what her name is, the villain, the main villain. I think she's just the Queen Borg. I think that's all it is, but she's pretty terrifying. There's a scene with her and Data that's like kind of explicit. Well, it doesn't show any details or anything, but it's like she's seducing him, and it's like a very awkward scene. But I'm just like, why is this turning into like a fan film? Like, what's going on here? Lily is the name of the woman from Earth. I kept forgetting her name every time I was about to talk about her. But Woman on Earth was called Lily. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything from her that's from when she was young. I think it's the first time I'm seeing something that's not like within the last 10-15 years, as far as I know. Like, I know she was in the MCU at one point. She was that woman who shouted at Tony Stark at the lift. Well, she didn't shout at him, but like obviously because her son died, she was very upset. I remember that scene. I think she was in 12 Years. Yeah, she was in 12 Years a Slave. I can see it now on the list. And she was in Luke Cage. Yeah, Maria Dillard. And she was in The Last Ship. I've seen The Last Ship. That's quite a good zombie show. Well, for about 2 seasons, then it just goes weird. That's like every zombie just show. Yeah, she's been in a few things that I've seen in the last 10-15 years, but I've never seen any of her old stuff. So this is actually pretty cool. Like, I'm seeing her from the 90s. Picard has saved the day. The Queen died a little bit like how Terminator died, in the way that she got burned in. It wasn't fire this time though, but still. The fact that she was killed because she managed to turn Data, but Data actually pulled her back in and killed her. And they managed to prevent a time-altering event. An event where the guy who discovers how to travel the speed of light... well, I'm not worded this right, but the guy, they meet a doctor who's meant to do that on a specific day. And they're trying to make sure it happens. Meanwhile, the villain's trying to make sure it doesn't happen. And obviously that alters history quite massively. So yeah, that is prevented. I think it's 12 minutes left. So yeah, it's almost over. It's a pretty good film. And I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Generations. I think I enjoyed Generations more. But probably partly because Captain Kirk was in it. But still, this is a good film. This is solid, I think. I enjoyed it. I'm glad Data survived though, in basically a new body. I just realized this franchise really went at it for a while. Like, the first one came out in 1979, sequel 1982, then 1984, 1986, 1989, 1991. That was the last of the original 6. And then they went straight into the next one. They finished the universe in 1991, and then you get this new timeline in 1994, which is the last film I watched last week. This movie is 1996, the next one came out in 1998. And then Nemesis comes out in 2002, and then that timeline ends. Then there's a new timeline. That's 2009, 2013, 2016. This was the franchise before. This was the cinematic universe before the cinematic universe. You know how the MCU puts out so many films and shows now. Like, Star Trek put out all these films so quickly, and put out a lot of shows. They were the original ones to. I don't know if they're original ones, but like. In terms of output, to put that many films out in quick succession within a decade, like they did it before anyone else did. I'm just clocking this now, and apparently there's a sequel due. But like, yeah, I guess 8 years is a very long time now. I think is that the longest they've gone since the first one. I think. I forgot an important detail. After they discover the speed of light, they have their first alien contact, which is also an important factor. An important event in time that needed not be changed. That was good stuff, man. Part of me thinks I should have watched these earlier in the year, because I watched the first 6 at the start of the year. Then I left these until later on, and that is later on is right now. And I was thinking maybe to do like a couple other things. I'm gonna do like these set of 4. So we're on the second one, 2 more in this generation, and then I'll do other episodes, and then come back to the final 3. I'm gonna do that anyway. But yeah, these are really fun. I'm just like, yeah, I've been waiting a while to watch these, and to be fair, they will have to wait. They're good films, you know. They're good films. I don't think like this movie was. I don't think it was like incredible 10 out of 10, but they're solid. They're damn solid. I enjoyed. There's a couple that I thought were a bit I can't remember which ones they were, but out of the first 6 there was like 2 or 3 that weren't like that great, but the other 3 were amazing. This one's kept a good, consistent, solid level, I feel, these last 2, and it's generally a really good franchise, and I can see why it's popular, why it was popular at least, because it's not popular right now, and I can see why so many of the characters are, you know, so iconic and in so many memes as well at the same time. Like, I knew a few of these characters from memes on the internet, so like I know they had a big impact on people throughout the years. So the fact it's taken me this long to watch these films is a disgrace, really. But you know, I almost watched Into the Darkness I think it was in 2017. I nearly, or 2016. I think the year it came, either the year it came out or a different year, I can't remember. I went to Sri Lanka on holiday, because that's where my parents are from. So my granddad went on holiday, and I said, because I was on school holidays, I'm just like, I'm bored, can I join you? And yeah, they flew me out to Sri Lanka. I flew on my own. I was 17 years old. did a solo flight to Sri Lanka, met my granddad and my grandma, and we went to cinema one day and we almost watched Star Trek Into the Darkness, and we didn't. We instead watched World War Z, which was a crazy zombie movie. But yeah, I almost watched that one without knowing any Star Trek. I almost watched Into the Darkness at one point, but I never did. But this year I will right that wrong. I mean, it wasn't a wrong, because like I feel like watching that without watching the rest would have been dodgy anyway. So it's a good thing I watched World War Z instead. But yeah, this movie was good. I gave it 8 out of 10. I don't know what I gave last week's, but I hope I gave at least an 8. I think I preferred the last ones to this one, but this was good as well, and I'm looking forward to the next two. So yeah, I like Captain Kirk's still my favorite character, and my favorite bot is definitely Spock. But you know, Picard and Data are not a bad alternative. You know, they're not bad for an alternate era. So I'll take it. I still prefer the OGs, but this is a good crew as well, and it's not just them. There are other cool members too, and I like them. So yeah, this is fun so far. And how's it only 4 films? But I hope the next 2 are really good. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I guess maybe Patrick Stewart decided X-Men is coming soon. I'll do those instead. But he's just one actor though. But still, and I feel like Star Trek's these 4 movies ending and X-Men starting, I think it's like it coincides, doesn't it? I don't even know. Goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it